Hi everyone and welcome to Road to Forever. I'm Terry, and in this video I'm going to talk about what is a Daniel fast and how to do a Daniel fast in 2020. And so if you remember in our very first video when Kyle and I talked about how we met, one of the things we mentioned was that he actually noticed me while I was presenting on the Daniel fast. So what exactly is the Daniel fast? So the Daniel fast is actually based on stories in the book of Daniel that's found in the Old Testament. In the stories of Daniel, which can be found in Daniel chapter 1 and Daniel chapter 10, the prophet Daniel decided to abstain from eating bread, wine, and meat for about 10 days or 3 weeks. So if you read Daniel chapter 1, it will say specifically he abstained from these different foods for 10 days and only ate vegetables and water. But if you read Daniel chapter 10, it will say that he mourned for 3 full weeks, which is about 21 days. And in this time, he also abstained from meat, bread, wine, and what they really ate was what's known as pulses. And if you're reading modern translation of the Daniel diet, it will say that specifically what he was eating was anything with seeds. So whether that's nuts, fruits, vegetables, or things like whole grains. So individuals will say that you can have things like quinoa, brown rice, like I said, avocado, any types of different fruits and vegetables. And truly the only beverage that Daniel was consuming during that time was water. So some people will say, you can have things like almond milk or coconut milk, but in the Bible it said specifically that they were drinking water. So now, as you're thinking about the Daniel fast, one of the things I want to make clear is that even though food is probably one of the first things that comes to your mind, that the Daniel fast is really about a spiritual connection. And this is a time that should be devoted to spending time praying and studying the Word of God. You should be asking yourself, how can I have a deeper, more intimate relationship with God? How can I grow in my walk with the Lord? So if you're doing the Daniel fast because you're thinking about losing weight, then that is the wrong motive. The intent is really to come to God with a repentant heart and ask Him to help you to order your steps so that you can do and be what He has called you to be. So now as you're preparing to walk it out with the Lord in 2020, you need His direction, you need His guidance. And so your focus really needs to be on deepening that relationship, that spiritual connection with the Lord. So I just want to make sure I insert this here before we keep going. If you have any medical condition and you're thinking about doing the Daniel fast, again, really make sure that you're consulting your primary care provider. Because, sometimes if you're fasting and you're taking medications, these things are going to affect you in an adverse manner. So make sure you talk to your own healthcare provider before you decide to fast. So now thinking about the Daniel fast, you're probably like, well, if I can't eat bread, I can't eat meat, and I can't have wine, then what am I going to do? And if you are interested in specific recipes, there are lots of recipes on Google, or I can make a video about some of the things that I eat specifically when I'm going through the Daniel fast. So let me know in the comments down below if you would like a video about different recipe ideas for the Daniel fast. Now, I said that during the Daniel fast, you really need to be spending time in prayer and thinking about your connection and your relationship with God. And so you're probably asking, well, what should I read? What type of devotionals should I go through? And we've done a video before about different types of devotional books that we find specifically helpful. But if there is something that is challenging you specifically that you're dealing with and you know that you need breakthrough and that God is the only one that can provide the answers, then I would say make sure that you are doing Bible plans or, reading the Word of God specific to those different items. And, it depends on the type of Bible you have. You can go through the back section. They have an index. And so if you're praying about trusting the Lord more, if you're praying about, marriage or singleness or being content, there are specific verses in the Bible that address each of these different concerns that you may have. So again, this is really about you and the Lord. This is not about everybody else, but about deepening your relationship and about your walk with the Lord. So if you're thinking about doing the Daniel fast, I think this will be a really wonderful journey as you learn to walk it out with the Lord. And again, keep your focus on Jesus. I know that it's going to be hard and nothing that, requires you to sacrifice is ever going to be easy. But remember that when God died and he sacrificed his life for us, that wasn't easy, but he did that because it was the will of the Father. And so if you want to know that what God's will is for your life, go to him in prayer and in fasting, and I guarantee you that God is going to answer you in time according to his will. So again, make sure that you're asking God, seeking him specifically for wisdom during this time of prayer and fasting. If this video was helpful, make sure you subscribe to our channel, share with your friends, and give us a thumbs up so we know that you're enjoying this content and I can continue to make more awesome videos just like this. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!